It's time to get spooky. Welcome to the Captain's Review of Halloween Horror Nights 2019. So last year I did a review, but I didn't get it up until Halloween night. This time I'm trying something different. I'm going to make this review a bit faster. I'm doing it right after I just got back from the park, which I managed to experience the whole park, 4 scare zones, and 5 of the houses. So I'm going to be cutting this up into 2 pieces. Sorry, but I really want to get this out faster this time. So without further ado, let's begin.
The park itself.
Now, when I say the park itself, I mean the park without anything else. No scare zones, no houses, no shows, just what did they do to the park differently this year than they did normally? And it wasn't terrible, just not anything special. I really didn't notice much other than the usual dimmed lights, static projections, and of course, Mel's die-in. The signage for the booths and food had that great 80s theme with the grids and neon, but that was about it. Nothing else I really noticed. But there were 3 things that I did love. First thing's not a big deal, but they brought back the arcade. Now last year they had the arcade in the gift shop right at the very entrance there. This time they moved it to an actual arcade in the arcade section in New York City. And it was nice. Second thing, which even though I said no shows, the Lagoon Show, called Halloween Marathon of Mayhem. And the reason why I'm including it is because it's such a big show with lights, projections, and water effects that you can pretty much see the show from anywhere within the park. So it really adds an additional layer of Halloween. But then there's the third thing, and this keeps getting better every single year. And that's the Tribute Store. And I really recommend checking it out. It is amazing. Every year they keep outdoing themselves with it. 3 rooms this time, and each room was themed after something. The first room, Ghostbusters, and it is full of props, all stuff from the movies. Second room, Stranger Things. They even had a freaking Demogorgon ready to pounce out at you. More picture opportunities. We're not even done yet. And there's a third room themed after classic Universal monsters. So you got bottles, you got electricity, you got gears, you got those vaulted windows. It was awesome. It was awesome. It just as good as a haunted house, if you ask me. I've already talked to a few people and they've walked past this thing because they didn't realize what it was. Do yourself a favor, go inside. It is awesome.
Haunted houses.
When it comes to these houses, I don't think I'm getting the best experience. Probably because while everybody else is going through the houses like... I'm going through the houses like... Ooh. So yeah, when it comes to these things, the scare actors kind of ignore me. Regardless of that, what did I think of the 5 houses I was able to hit to? Depths of Fear. This one was interesting because according to the description, it is a mining corporation that has built an installation in deep waters and it's infested with something monstrous. There is no escape from your watery grave. I loved the use of water in this house. It was all very spooky, very creepy. It's just a shame that the actual outfits and I guess theme was kind of lost on me. Because it's like mermen are invading the station and turning everyone into fish zombies, I guess. I don't know. It's a little hard to follow. I was kind of expecting it more to be like The Thing underwater, but it wasn't. In the end, the costumes just came off rather goofy. They looked very silly, not very scary at all. Jordan Peele's Us. Now, this is a unique experience for me because I haven't seen the movie. So it's always fun to see how a house kind of scares you without you knowing of its source material. And I will say this about the house. It is not scary. It is very uncomfortably creepy. Bravo! I need to see the movie now, but man, that house gave me a very creepy, uncomfortable feeling throughout the whole thing. Because you're traveling through houses and I guess some sort of science facility. I don't know. I, again, haven't seen the movie, but just the use of the mannequins and the scare actors. Like, one room was just you in a living room, but you could see outside into the yard, and there was just 4 people standing there, not moving, and oh, they did a great job with that. Good house, really good house. Just underlyingly eerie, very, very creepy. Definitely one to recommend. Yeti, Terror of the Yukon. Well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're in some sort of wintry, I think they said logging town. Winter storms hit. Loggers are refuging within their buildings, and Yetis are attacking everyone. I love wintry haunted houses. Some of my favorite ones have had that kind of cold winter fear to them, and this one was a solid house. I felt like it could have been a little colder inside, but all the theming was great. Log cabins, forested areas. You really feel like you're outside at some points, and the costumes are great for the Yetis. My favorite parts, though, were probably not intentionally scary, but hunters would just pop out and be like, "Watch out, over there!" And I just was like, all right, thanks, buddy. The goofiest of jump scares, but it worked. A great house. Loved it. Universal Monsters. Now, this one is based off of the classic monsters. You know the ones. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, all those classic lovable monsters. And I was very excited for this house. This was the house I hit first because I really wanted to experience it. I was pretty disappointed. I don't know if maybe I just had my hopes too high, but I was pretty disappointed. It started out great, had this fantastic projection on the outside of the building. I was excited. But once I got inside, I just felt like they weren't really using these classic monsters as great as they could have. Frankly, most I remember was the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I didn't really care for that. I don't think I even saw the Wolfman. And I was just hoping for a lot more, but we just kind of passed every monster so quickly that I don't know. I tried to go through this house slowly, but there's a lot of potential there, but I just don't feel like it was really utilized. I think if they had mostly just focused on the main 3, Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman, it could have been better. I told you and you didn't believe me, but I was right. That's right. This was an awesome scare zone last year and they turned it into a house and I knew it would be amazing. And it was. Man, this house was fantastic. As someone who loved the movie, I loved everything about it. They put a ton of work into this thing. Great use of lighting effects and shadows. The theming was awesome and the special effects were great. And of course, the costumes for these freaking killer clowns were amazing. Oh my god. This was my favorite house thus far. I cannot recommend this house more. Make sure you go on this house. Do whatever you have to do to go on this house because it was fantastic. And oh my god, had the biggest, best freaking, I don't know if you can call it a puppet or an animatronic, but full of fantastic effects and surprises. Just amazing house. Bring this back. I'm going again. My next trip, when I go, I'm definitely hitting up this house again if I got time. And done. There. First part is complete. And it only took 4 weeks! Oh god, I am so screwed! How the heck am I gonna get the second part done in like a week?
And I'm a spooky ghost that's here to haunt you now. Ooh.
What the fuck?